Good evening, football fans. You're watching Social Soccer and the transfer window has taken a massive twist. We're counting down to deadline day and today has been huge in terms of developments and completed deals. You're in the right place. We will go through them all. Big day, a lot to get through. We'll look at the rumours, of course, that are gathering a lot of pace. We'll also, of course, start with the movements as well that are really creating a ripple effect within the transfer window. And we have over 15 transfers that have been confirmed across Europe today. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Of course, if you are new to the channel, this is the place where you're guaranteed to get all of your European transfer news in one place. We're the only channel to do it, so come along for the ride and let's jump in. Now, I don't know about you, but this transfer window, I feel, is really starting to heat up. The Euros, they're gone. The Olympics, that's gone. The seasons, they've started across Europe. And now that wheel of transfers is really starting to turn. Obviously, we spoke last night on last night's show about Ilkay Gundogan, Conor Gallagher, João Felix. We, of course, covered them. But what we like to do is cover the stuff that the mainstream do not. When you look more into Europe as a whole, we've got movements in the Championship, in Bundesliga 2, over in France, over in Portugal. Everything's really starting to kick off. So we're going to jump in. We're going to cover it all for you today. So we're going to start, as we always do, with some big movements and three key players who have really started to edge closer to exits from their club. So let's jump in and take a look. So in a world where FFP is so important, as we edge closer to the transfer window ending, Arsenal are still willing to sell Eddie Nketiah for the right price. It is rumoured that Nottingham Forest are now showing major interest in him, along with Feyenoord striker Santiago Jimenez. However, Nketiah is Premier League proven, so he probably would be the preferred choice. Forest, they've got Chris Wood and Awoniyi on their books up front, so it would be the perfect move for Nketiah going to a team who, let's face it, they're lacking that cutting edge in front of goal. He's netted 38 goals in 168 games for the Gunners, but he doesn't like he's going to be breaking into the team ahead of Kai Havertz and Jesus. He's now 24, so it seems like now is the time to make that move. What we know is De Zerbi tried to sign him at Marseille at the start of the window. That failed. They didn't hit that Arsenal valuation of 32 million. Rumoured to be roughly 10 million short of that. Now, since then, Marseille have brought in Mason Greenwood. He scored twice on his debut for Marseille. And Eli Wahi, he scored on his debut. They signed him from Lens, so they've got two new strikers. So that door is pretty much closed. But you'd think many doors will now open as the window starts to come to its end, and many clubs are expected to come in for him. Next is a bit of a left field one. It's 22-year-old El Bilal Touré. He was left out of Atlanta's matchday squad for the first game of the season last night. Yes, they won 4-0 at Lecce, with 2 goals coming from new striker Retegui. But Touré, look, he's a very exciting forward. He impressed on loan at Almeria, scoring 7 goals. A great season for Atlanta last season. 9 goals already for the Mali international team. So the future is bright for him. Like I said, he's only 22. The question is, where's he going to be playing? To be left out of the squad, that'll be such a huge blow for him. You have to think, really, he'll probably be pushing for a move himself now to ensure that his career kicks on. Stuttgart, Southampton, Monaco, Leicester and Augsburg have all been linked to the forward. And it looks like Stuttgart, look, they've shown their hand first. It's believed their first bid, though, has been rejected. That's normal. Atlanta only want to sell the player. It seems they won't entertain a loan. Stuttgart, they only want the player on loan. This is because they've already spent 25 million on striker Dennis Undav from Brighton and 21 million pounds on Augsburg forward Demirovic. And look, if you actually look into it, they've actually added 5 additional players to their squad as well. So you can see why they're pushing for a loan. Bilal Touré, I think he just wants to get out. You know, he wants to be playing football. He's 22. He's right at the peak of his career in terms of that transition now. 23 this season. He needs to be playing regularly, just like he did last season and the season before in La Liga. So a big move should be on the horizon for him. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Premier League suitors for this guy. Pacey, quick. You can get him behind. He can take people on, and he can also play wide on the right-hand side of a free as well. So watch this space on this one. We're expecting it to develop. I'm sure by the end of the week, El Bilal Touré will have a new club. And finally, we have Celtic midfielder Matt O'Reilly capped for both England under 16s and 18s, but he's now made 2 appearances for the Denmark senior team following his very impressive performances in Scotland. He's been heavily linked to Brighton. We know her bid has gone into Celtic of roughly £25 to £30 million, which is great business for Celtic. They bought him from MK Dons in January of 2022 for just £1.8 million. O'Reilly actually started his career at Fulham. He's a versatile central midfielder, someone who's proven he can change a game with his vision, his passing accuracy as well. 26 appearances, 7 goals and 5 assists, all before January came in his initial MK Don season. It is what prompted Celtic to buy him. And then 49 appearances for Celtic last season, 19 goals, 18 assists, and he's only 23 years of age. So if Brighton can add him to the ranks, given how they're looking and how they played in the first game of the season away at Everton in that 3-0 win, they could have a great player on their hands for years to come, and I'm sure he's going to fit into that system perfectly. So the move is progressing. We don't know at what stage it is at, but Brighton seem to be the front runners and the only contenders. Pretty sure this deal will get over the line. Normally when these deals have progressed that far, it could just be a medical and a few tweaks in the contract that need to be ironed and teased out. So very much expecting Matt O'Reilly to make the next step in his career to the Premier League. What a story for him, and I'm sure his career is just going to continue to keep growing and growing if he does make that move. Look, Celtic don't want to lose him. A player of that quality will be heavily missed, but the profit that they're going to make off O'Reilly will be absolutely huge for the club as well. They will find a replacement, they always do. They buy very well in the transfer window, but this is one to keep a close eye on, that's for sure. Yeah, really interesting deal, the Matt O'Reilly one. League One's nothing to be scoffed at, to be honest with you. If you look at the players who played in League One who are now in the Premier League or went on to the Premier League, of course, Dele Alli, he was at MK Dons, Callum Wilson, Ricky Lambert, Harry Maguire, Adam Lallana, Jack Grealish, Joe Gomez went from Charlton to Liverpool. The list is endless in terms of players who have really learnt their trade and developed in League One and find themselves in the Premier League. So Matt O'Reilly could be joining that list. Also, you know, there's a lot of other movements going on, but we try and bring you the 3 best in terms of deals that could materialise this week. If you watch the previous shows, you'll notice as well that we're pretty good at them. We are pretty good at them. The movements that we talk about in that piece do normally, a couple of shows on, transpire into completed transfers. Don't forget though, Ivan Toney, he's still not moved. Could he move? Probably will, left out of the Brentford squad. People also forget Trevor Chalobah as well, completely exiled from Chelsea. He hasn't moved yet. He'd be a great buy for somebody. So keep your eyes out from the movements piece that we bring you. But of course now, let's jump into the completed transfers across Europe. Let's give you the breakdown and show you who has been on the move today. So the day started with youngster Nathan Fraser. He left Wolves on loan for Zulte Waregem in Belgium. 12 games and 3 goals for Wolves last season. Ipswich finally got their man. They finally got Jens Kajuste over the line. The Swedish international joined on loan from Napoli. Season-long loan. Brighton went big. Brighton signed Jorginho Ruta from Leeds after they activated his release clause. 17 assists last season from the 22-year-old at Ellen Road. It's another price tag, another big departure from Leeds. Youngster Andreas Pint joined newly promoted Swedish team Sirius. Julian Justvan, the much-travelled Justvan, he spent last season on loan at Darmstadt. He has now joined Nuremberg permanently for £1 million. Polish forward David Kowecki has joined Dusseldorf on loan from Werder Bremen for the season. Championship new boys Oxford have signed the right back Hidde Ter Avest. That's their 11th signing of the window. 11 signings for Oxford. Some great additions as well, the likes of Matt Phillips, Dane Scarlett and Louis Sibley. So keep an eye on them this season. Look, they might not even be finished yet. Then we had Ejese Metsoko. He joined from Slovan Bratislava on loan. And then, tipped for big things, Muhammad Damir has joined Bundesliga 2 new boys SV Elversberg. He needs a good loan, to be honest, to kick on his career. He shone at youth level and just kind of went off the radar completely. Good to see him back in contention at a team he will be starting at. Jordan Teze, he has left PSV Eindhoven after 11 years to join Monaco for £10 million. Cardiff have splashed the cash. Once again, £4 million on Norwegian centre-back Jesper Darland, 24 years of age, capped at all youth levels for Norway, 40 appearances for Cercle Brugge in Belgium last season. Cardiff, they've been busy. Chris Willock, Callum Chambers, El Ghazi, and now they have added Darland to the ranks for quite a bit of money, quite a big price tag. We then have Villarreal. They have spent big on a new goalkeeper. Luis Junior has joined them from Famalicão, a 2-2 draw with Atletico Madrid last night. They went with Diego Conde in goal. They bought him in this window as well from Leganes for 2 million. But look, you'd have to think that Luis Junior will now be the number one. 140 appearances for Famalicão in Portugal. 42 clean sheets. This is the next step for him for sure. Schalke, now in the German second division. They have bought young French winger Ilias Hamache for 700k. We then have Jakov Medic, the 25-year-old Croatian centre-back. He has joined Bochum on loan for the season from Ajax. Not fancied at Ajax at all last season. He only amounted 10 appearances, but before that he was hugely impressive for St. Pauli. So hopefully he can get his career back on track, because tip for big things as well at youth level. Only 25 though, so still got a bit of time ahead of him. Needs a good loan, that's for sure. So those are the completed transfers that have happened today, but more I anticipate will get completed throughout the evening. Just as we've been talking, Abdoulaye Kamara has joined Portsmouth of the Championship from Borussia Dortmund's youth team. Don't know if that's a transfer or a loan yet. The 19-year-old central midfielder from Senegal has joined Portsmouth, and the much-travelled Robert Soriano, he has joined Salernitana in Serie B. 33 now, certainly been around the block in Italy, but they have signed him on a free transfer as well. So the transfers will keep happening, but some very interesting ones that have been completed there today. Get your comments in below. What's the best transfer for you? What's the standout transfer? Will there be any ripple effects off the back of those moves? For me, Cardiff and Oxford in the Championship, very interested. Both been very, very busy. Oxford, 11 signings, absolutely insane. Cardiff have just signed Darland. There's rumours as well that they also want to sign Will Fish from Manchester United. 2 new centre-halves coming in to join Callum Chambers. Very, very interesting indeed as well. That brings us nicely onto the rumours. Let's jump into some of the rumours that have really gathered a bit of pace today from what we call Tier 1 journalists. Let's jump in and take a look. So first we have Junior Ebimbe, the young French wide man who has been linked strongly to Everton. 23 years old, previously of Paris Saint-Germain. 44 games, 10 goals and 5 assists last season for Frankfurt. Plays wide on the right. Listen, if he can cross a ball, then he'll do for Sean Dyche, right? Goalkeeper, Juan Garcia. Solid season last year at Espanyol. Arteta is rumoured to be a big fan, and terms are rumoured to be agreed between the keeper and Arsenal. This one's all dependent on the future of Aaron Ramsdale. Clearly the number 2 now behind David Raya. Quite a few clubs being linked with him. No concrete bids though, we'll have to see what happens there. We spoke on last night's show. If you tuned in for it, you would have heard that we spoke in length about Raheem Sterling. Great show. What a show that was. Check it out if you haven't. But the story is Sterling is not happy after missing out on the weekend Chelsea squad. It is reported that Juventus are interested. The right-hand side of Juventus, look, it has a spare slot, right? Motta has reportedly told Federico Chiesa that he can leave. Mockbell is reporting talks have taken place between Juventus and Raheem Sterling. We then have Ademola Lookman, very left field one this. 45 games, 17 goals and 10 assists for Atlanta last season. However, he's been left out of their matchday squad last night as well, just like Toure. And it's rumoured that terms have actually been agreed between the player and Paris Saint-Germain. Watch this space on that one. David Ornstein, he has reported that Neil Maupay is wanted by De Zerbi at Marseille. Valencia's Georgian keeper, Georgi Mamadashvili, brilliant in the Euros, subject to lots of speculation, and is reportedly now very close to a move to Liverpool. This has been reported by Plettenberg. Rumours are that he will actually stay at Valencia for the remainder of the season. Of course, Liverpool have Alisson. What is significant, though, is Bournemouth were actually rumoured to be the front runners for the 1-year initial loan. Richard Hughes, he is now at Liverpool, and he's the former director of football at Bournemouth. So the links are there, but instead it seems that he will stay at Valencia on loan and join up with the Liverpool squad next season. Barcelona's young Senegalese centre-back Mika Faye is a wanted man. Rennes reportedly made a bid back end of last week, and now it is rumoured Lille have joined the race for his signature. And finally, Norwich winger Jonathan Rowe. Look, he's a product of their youth system. 36 games, 16 goals from the wing last season. It seems he has reportedly stated that he wants to leave the club. Marseille, they're rumoured to have made another bid. De Zerbi is not messing about, but he hasn't featured for Norwich at all this season. He's a very exciting wide man. Pace, can go inside, can go outside. Surely Marseille are going to have some serious competition for his signature. Now, Norwich have started the season. He's not featuring. It seems that, his feet are firmly planted on the ground. He wants out of Carrow Road. Again, keep a close eye on this one. He'll surely be moving. Exciting stuff. Do like looking at these rumours that are released from top tier journalists. It's funny, if you've been watching this show for quite some time now, you'll notice from that section, there will be a cluster from those reports that end up filtering through to either the movement section of our show or completed transfers, of course. So keep an eye on it. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all things transfers and results. We've got Champions League qualifiers tonight. So if you count the results show this morning, we'll be doing another one tomorrow, so we'll get the rundown on everything that happened. But that kind of covers everything in terms of the transfers for today. Like I say, hugely exciting day. Rumours are starting to appear left, right and centre now. So keep in contact with us, keep in contact with the community, get your comments and questions in below, and we'll see you on the next one.